Just a quick fire question then. New pond build, ideal size, taking into consideration current energy bills and treatments.
Yeah. It was actually just having me and Chris were recording one of our Koi Talk chats earlier, and he brought this into conversation. I don't actually think if you take heating out of the equation, the general running costs of a pond with the sort of energy efficient equipment we've got these days, I really don't think it's that bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the equipment.
That's what I keep saying to my wife. I must make sure.
Absolutely. Getting back to again when you first started, Cole, back with that big pond. You know, you were big sort of quarter horsepower pumps and all that sort of stuff, which were gas guzzlers. But now it's just not the case. So you know, I really won't be too concerned about it, to be honest.
And
heating is the one. Sorry, if you add in the heating element in, that's where it's going to cost. So you've just got to find the most efficient way.
Well, I'm thinking 3,000 to 4,000 gallon.
Oh yeah, that's a nice size. You see, I would base the pond size not on what you're looking to achieve, to be honest. And obviously, you're always going to be limited by what you can physically build in your garden.
I want some nice koi, and I want to be able to reach them to their full potential and not let them down.
Yeah, a well filtered sort of 4,000 to 5,000 gallon pond you can do a lot with. I mean, my best raising ponds here are only 3,500 gallons, and I do some pretty phenomenal stuff with them. So yeah, it's more pond size. It's more about what you do with it, the kit you get, and how you use it, as opposed to the physical size of it, to be honest.
How important is flow within the pond?
Important, definitely. You want to keep them moving. Smaller ponds, you'd want to try and generate a bit more flow. I do actually prefer, where possible, to try and use surface area as much as possible. My ideal sort of pond build is to go rectangular, where there's a lot of length to the surface area to allow them to swim and actually sort of exercise and help build the body.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Am I out of time, or do you want a few more?
One more, mate. Got time for one more.
One more. Right, let me be selective then. Drum and Biochamber or Nexus? This is personal choice.
If all in all, I'd go with the Nexus.
Right, okay. Interesting, because your view's not changed, because I asked you that question quite a few years ago.
No, it wouldn't change. For me, it's the one that, obviously, the Nexus is more attainable for so many people. And I've just always been a fan of the way that system is built. It's simple, it's easy. Drum filters for me are very specific. They're more specific to what I do at the high level raising, where feeding levels and stocking levels are incredibly high. For how you're going to run your pond, Cole, to be honest with you, I'd say a drum filter would be a waste of time and a waste of money, to be honest.
Okay.
I know you've bought one. But
look for it on eBay.
That aside, the next, and they're just so simple. And I'll be honest with you, right? My big growing house here, I've got eight 3,500 gallon ponds in there, all running on drum filters, and they drive us ballistic.
Yeah,
they're not a zero maintenance filter. They're actually a really high maintenance filter. And you know, my dad's obviously manages them fish houses, and I literally laughed today. I says we need to get him in front of the camera and ask him his opinion on drum filters.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
So for me, the practicality of them in that really heavy, the environment that I'm creating in raising fish, I think it's essential, because dealing with the amount of waste I have to process, that's really difficult through other filters without leaving it sat in the body of water for a long time. But so in a general hobbyist environment, probably not.
Nexus, but I want a holiday this year, unless you're coming over.
You what? Sorry, mate. It cut out.
So you're saying Nexus, but presumably with an auto cleaner on there. Because
I mean that's a great thing that they introduced for sure. Yeah. And for me, with that in mind, if it's the maintenance you want to kind of cut out for reasons like that, it's the absolute perfect choice.
Right.
Like I say, I think the drum filter. If you look at where drum filters came from, they came from aquaculture. You know, in aquaculture, we're talking stocking levels that we couldn't even begin to process, and feeding levels that we just couldn't get our head around as koi keepers. So when you consider all that, you then see the purpose and reason they were built for. What we're using them for, it's not touching them.
Cool.
So
thanks for that, Ray.
Yeah, thanks for your time.